This is 7 National News. In our top story, UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, His Highness General Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, received on Sunday Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir in the presence of Dubai Crown Prince, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. The Sudanese President is in the UAE to partake in this year's International Defence Exhibition and Conference IDEX, which began yesterday. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed discussed bilateral relations between the UAE and Sudan, as well as the important role that IDEX would play in laying the groundwork for stability and security in the region. The officials also discussed greater cooperation and exchange of experience between military experts from both countries. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency has declared the urgent need for about $100 million within this quarter of the year to be able to repair damaged homes in the Gaza Strip. The agency has registered 96,000 homes as refugee houses or structures exposed to breaking down, and has also stressed the urgent need for $720 million to repair these houses. According to Emirates news agency WAM, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees last month halted Gaza reconstruction for lack of funds, since it could not afford repairing homes because, quote, donors have failed to pay. In a statement, the agency said that $5.4 billion was pledged at the Cairo Aid Conference last October, and virtually none of it has reached Gaza. Describing the situation as distressing and unacceptable, the UN received only $135 million out of the $724 million demanded for the reconstruction process. Considering the alarming expected increase in the number of deaths associated with strokes to more than double by the year 2030, medical professionals in the MENA region have called for more awareness and dedicated stroke units in hospitals. During a press conference, stroke specialists from hospitals around the region described the situation as an impending storm, as more than 20 million people around the world suffer from stroke-related diseases every year. In order to curb the situation, pharmaceutical company Boehringer Ingelheim launched their MENA Stroke Initiative, an awareness program which identifies time as a major factor that can contribute towards saving lives. According to industry experts present, a patient can lose 2 million brain cells every minute during an acute stroke. Held under the theme Making Every Second Count towards stroke recovery, the initiative is aimed at collaborating with around 17 hospitals in the region to create dedicated stroke units and programs. The pharmaceutical company's general manager for the MENA region stated that through such programs, neurologists and stroke specialists can offer more effective treatments to their patients. Meanwhile, Dr. Suhail Al-Rukan, head of the stroke program at Rashid Hospital, says the UAE has 7,000 stroke patients every year, which equals to almost 1 patient every hour.
5 million out of those. We have worldwide more than 20 million, Dr. Adi will speak about it, of stroke victim. Very bad disease, severe disability. Come to my hospital and see what we are seeing daily there. This needs to be stopped. The people who's dying from stroke is double number of people who's dying from breast cancer.
And cases of asthma and other related illnesses have increased by up to 25% due to sand and dust storms that are forecast to continue for at least another day. According to a local report quoting medical officials, staff have received more patients in the last couple of days, particularly instances of children with asthma attacks and allergic reactions to particles and viruses in the dust. Doctors added that the dusty atmosphere could also trigger ear infections, colds, viral infections and influenza. They have also warned that the elderly and those with cardiac problems should avoid unnecessary exposure to the sandstorms and dust and use nose-mouth masks. The curriculum of all public schools in the UAE will be changed by 2018 and 19, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Education said on Sunday at the 2-day Microsoft in Education Global Forum. According to local reports, Marwan Ahmad Al-Sawaleh, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Education, revealed that the curriculums will be changed completely to promote innovation. This move comes after an announcement by His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Presidential Affairs at the Government Summit. His Highness Sheikh Mansour said the government will be focusing on this aspect as part of its national agenda through the launch of 7 new initiatives. These initiatives include the launch of robot labs in schools and universities, developing a curriculum that promotes innovation, discovering future innovators from the age of 5 to 7, and creating extensive training summer camps for innovative youth. Meanwhile, Microsoft is set to partner with the ministry to fulfill their goals, especially when it comes to implementing the Mohammed bin Rashid Smart Learning Program. And a new study by Zurich International Life has found that about 8 out of 10 people in the UAE are now feeling anxious that their gratuity pay won't be sufficient to meet their retirement needs. Unlike most developed countries, the UAE has no mandatory pension system in place, so the majority of employees who choose to go back to their home country and retire will likely have to rely solely on their gratuity to get by as they grow older. Gratuity serves as a separation pay from employees at the end of their contract. The amount received depends on the staff's last basic salary and the length of service. According to a local report, UAE expatriates said companies only need to increase the gratuity provisions so that they will have more savings to look forward to when they retire. Experts, however, say that employees should try to supplement their gratuity with additional savings. Companies should also step in and implement a savings plan to ensure their staff will have enough money to dip into when they retire. Zurich's survey included responses from 1,000 UAE residents. Finally this evening, horse racing is often assumed as the sport for the wealthier members of our society, considering the costs of owning and training a racehorse. However, that may not be the case, according to renowned trainer Satish Simar. Leading the training staff at Zabil Racing Stables, Satish recently held a talk for the members of the Entrepreneurs Organisation UAE chapter and provided them with a unique insight into the acquisition and training aspects of horse racing as a business. Playing down the concerns that it is exclusively for the ultra-rich, Satish added that those with a passion for the sport can purchase a horse collectively as a syndicate between a few partners. Based on the handicap and skills levels, a horse can be bought for $100,000 and can earn a return on investment after a few successful races. During the recent EO event, Satish offered the members an exclusive tour of the stables owned by the Dubai royal family and added that the Dubai is one of the cheapest destinations for owning a horse. Despite the glamour surrounding the world's richest horse race, according to Satish, Dubai's tax-free environment, world-class facilities, government subsidies for training horses, and the number of races on offer make it an ideal destination for those seeking entertainment through this business.
Like I always say, it's a business with passion. If you have a little bit of passion for the sport and the animal, like a horse, it's a great business to be in. You enjoy. It brings a lot of smiles. It brings excitement. It brings, all kind of emotions. And the reason we treat it as is a business, when I call it is a business, is because the horse makes money back. Whatever you buy the horse for, and if the horse reaches to a level, every race he makes money. And for winning, if it's, let's say, hypothetically $100,000, the horse brings in $60,000 as a winner, and the second place, third place, and fourth place. Up till the fifth place, the horse makes money in the distribution of the prize money.